Welcome, friends and family. Super excited to be here with you today, right here in our Cookeville Elevate studio. Excited as we continue on our series of what it takes to be, and I really want to kind of put a cap on this word, professional top producer in life. A lot of my stories that I talk about, it just happens to me in life. Some of my stories will be about real estate because that's what I do. I help people sell and buy real estate. I coach and train phenomenal agents, and recently started to oversee a brokerage. So my life is centered, the last 20 years has really been centered around, a lot around real estate sales. 19 years as a licensed real estate agent. Prior to that, I had bought a few homes, fixed them up, and then sold them. So for over 20 years doing that. Still love to do both. Guys, when we talk about what it takes to be a professional top producer in life today, I want to tell you the tale of two plumbers. Okay, the tale of two plumbers. What's that look like? Recently, I had my hot water heater go out. And it was never an opportune time for your hot water heater to go out, but it was like on a weekday. So I made a few phone calls, and a gentleman got back with me. He said, yes, I can get you taken care of. And probably 2 days later, I still don't have hot water. And then I really don't know if this guy's doing it or if he's kind of subbed it out. So very unclear. And they just kind of show up with time they said they're going to show up, they didn't show up. They show up with a hot water heater that is $2,200, and then they're going to install it. But I never got asked questions like, what do you want? What would you prefer? None of that ever came out. It was just like, here we go. We're going to stick this in this closet. I'm like, wait a minute. Could we do a on-demand hot water heater? Are these even options? Nobody ever asked me what I wanted. And I felt upset by the experience. So I basically said, I appreciate your efforts here, but I would like a price on demand before. I've already went 2 days without a hot water heater. Without hot water, I can go a few more because I didn't feel served. Now, I call another gentleman. I call a friend of mine, said, hey man, I've got an issue. Who would you call? He gives me this guy's phone number. I call up Manny. Manny shows up and on a Saturday. He works really all day Saturday, but he asked me questions. He asked me, what are you looking for? What would you like? He kind of goes through the whole, and I'm like, we want on demand. And he gets this thing hooked up. Unfortunately, there was a little bit of an issue with that first day, so we have to take that out. He thought we were on propane tank. He thought it was natural gas. So anyhow, that doesn't work out. He has to take it out. But he was such a service-oriented person. He was smiling. He was working hard on a Saturday. I didn't mind. He comes back out on a Sunday and takes two. Unfortunately, there was a gas line. Wasn't big enough, so we have to run a bigger gas line. But he communicates with me, tells me what he's going to do, when he's going to be back. So, long story short, now we have an on-demand hot water heater in our home. But throughout the process, the one guy was there to help me. He was there to serve. And that's what I want to talk about. Top producers, professional top producers. Yes, you. You have a desire. You have a desire to serve. You have a desire to help. You have a desire to want to serve. And I think that's kind of what's missing when you go by a drive-through window today at McDonald's, or no offense, I've drove by McDonald's that have had great service. But I've also run by ones that are very bland and just reach out their hand for your credit card, swipe it, no interaction. Guys, that's not service. Service is when you look somebody in the eye. Service is when you smile. I see service as an attitude, as a heart. A servant wants to help. I believe that's what separates professionals from non-professionals. Could you be great at what you do and not have a servant heart? I'm afraid there's a few of those out there too. But you can feel it, right? And I want to say this too. Servant's heart is different for different people. My wife, her servant heart, she wants to serve people. She wants to make the life of whoever she's working with better. She may not do that directly right in front of you. She may put a system in process that makes the from start to finish go smoother. Where a system that you ask a few questions on the front end, this is the next step after you do this. So my wife will put a system in place that will make everybody's lives easier. That's a servant heart. She wants to help people. She wants it to flow and to be as joyful as an experience as it can. Other service, that may be more like me. I want to be in front of you. I want to smile. I want to see, I want to look you in the eye. I want you to know when we meet that I'm there to help you. One thing my wife has always told me, what people really want to know is that you got their back. So with the Tele2 plumbers, that was kind of my story. Here's one guy, yeah, he can do the work. Yeah, he's capable. Doesn't necessarily show up when he says he's going to. Doesn't feel like he has to. Doesn't ask any questions. Just ready to jam in what they want to jam in. Running their program, not asking. I didn't feel very well cared for. The other guy, yeah, man, he made a few mistakes. He stumbled along the way, but he did it with a good heart. He wanted to help. He was there on a Saturday. He was there on a Sunday, and he wanted to help. I think by far one of the best service experiences I've ever had was with Mr. Roan Crane, Dependable Auto Sales. Guys, I will highly recommend that group. Roan and his wife are amazing folks. I remember not once, but twice being locked out of my vehicle and just calling Roan. And this, just because I bought a vehicle from Roan and I knew that he had the ability maybe to have a locksmith. So I called Roan. I was like, Roan, I'm so sorry, man. I've got myself locked out here. And believe it or not, I'm a real estate agent and the people that I'm with would like to go look at another home. So could you give me a hand? Sweating, Roan will have somebody out there as quickly as possible. The last time that happened, I don't know how my keys got locked in my door. It should have never happened, but somehow they did. And I go to get in and I can't. So I call Roan. He's like, I think I can have somebody that's driving by that area now. Within 15 minutes, I'm able to get back in my driver's seat and go on to the next thing. Now, why is that? Because Roan believes in service. He not only believes in providing great service, but he also knows that leads to very authentic relationships. I would go way out of my way to help Roan because he went so far out of his way to help me. That's how you build great relationships, authentic relationships. But that man has phenomenal 5-star service. His whole company does. I've never went there and not felt well served. But I want to say this, that it's that level of service that makes me want to highly refer my wife to go work, highly refer my dad to go to Roan. I hope one day my son Noah will go work with Roan, because if he wants to, and he loves vehicles, so if you know Noah, you know that. So what I'm saying is, it's that level of service that attracts us to professional top producers. Now, can top producers have that? I'm certain they can. I know a lot of top producers that are arrogant, their noses in the air, they don't care about you, they just got a job to do, and if you got in the way, sorry, you're bad. You can be a top producer, but you're not a professional. That's not being very professional. If you don't truly care about the people you serve, if all you're in it for is a paycheck or to pound your chest and say, look how big I am, you ain't really a professional. You may be a top producer, but that's short-lived. We can't take the houses, can't take the cars, can't take the money with us. But how we treat people, well, when you really think about it, that's what Jesus came to die for, was people. So at the end of the day, that's what really matters, is how we treat others. Now, I encourage you guys. I ain't always done a great job of it. There'll be times I mess this up, and there'll be times in the future I have and will again. But always try to show up, whatever you're doing in life, whether it's a mother, show up for your children with a servant's heart, not a, man, I got to tell you this again. It might be son, let's just sit down and talk about this. We're not seeing eye to eye here, and I really want to make sure you understand my heart. It's a conversation. It's a smile. It's looking you in the eye. It's caring enough to tell you sometimes maybe even what you don't want to hear, but you're doing it with a servant's heart. You're serving that person. And if we ever get away from that, whether we're in plumbing, HVAC, real estate, mom or dad, then it's kind of like a duty or an obligation. We're checking the box. Yeah, I showed up at church. Yeah, I showed up at my job. Yeah, I did it. But did you? Did you just go through the emotion? Did you just go through the motions, or did you really care? Folks, when you serve people, they can feel that. They know when you're there to help them, and they know when you're there to get a paycheck or just to check it off their list and say, "Yet done." Two different, totally different worlds. Totally different worlds. I want to welcome you to the world of being a professional top producer in life by having a servant's heart, by serving others. Hope this helps you. If it's added any value to you anyway, please like and share. Thank you.